First contact and curiosity. Dr. Nixel adjusted her chromatophores to match the bland beige walls of the suburban medical clinic, her natural bioluminescence carefully suppressed. As lead cynoanthropologist for the Galactic Research Council's Earth observation team, she had spent 3 cycles studying human civilization from a safe distance. Today marked her first covered insertion into a human medical facility. The timing couldn't have been better. Humans had just begun exploring promising advances in reproductive medicine, and understanding their approach to population sustainability was crucial before any official first contact. Their peculiar binary reproduction system had already fascinated cynobiologists across the galaxy. Nixel's species, the Lumini, had evolved beyond physical reproduction millennia ago, achieving immortality through consciousness transfers into cultivated bodies. The concept of natural birth both repulsed and intrigued them. The clinic's waiting room buzzed with quiet activity as humans leafed through outdated magazines or stared at their primitive communication devices. Nixel's holographic disguise as a maintenance worker held firm as she pushed her cleaning cart past the reception desk. Her specialized sensors recorded everything: heart rates, hormone levels, genetic markers, and most importantly, emotional states. The humans here exhibited elevated stress levels, tinged with hope. Different from the relaxed atmosphere of regular medical facilities, this was a fertility clinic where humans sought help with their reproductive challenges. In the back office, Nixel found what she was looking for: the clinic's prized possession, a newly installed maternal assistance neural network interface console, or MANNIC. The device represented the cutting edge of human reproductive technology, combining artificial intelligence with advanced biological monitoring to optimize fertility treatments. To Nixel's enhanced senses, the MANIC looked absurdly primitive. Its sleek white casing housed what her scans revealed to be simple quantum processors and basic biological sensors. Yet something about its design triggered her scientific curiosity. The humans had taken a remarkably elegant approach to solving their fertility challenges, working within their technological limitations. As she examined the device more closely, a sudden noise from the hallway startled her. Her chromatophores flickered momentarily, a dangerous break in her camouflage. But the footsteps passed by without pause. Nixel's attention returned to the MANIC. Her tentacle-like appendages, disguised as human fingers, traced the device's smooth surface. According to her research, this machine had already helped countless human couples achieve successful pregnancies. Its integration of artificial intelligence with biological processes was surprisingly sophisticated for such a young species. A notification pinged in her neural interface. Her observation window was closing. But as she turned to leave, her tentacle brushed against something that felt different. A small panel on the MANIC's side slid open, revealing an interface port she hadn't noticed before. Scientific curiosity overcame caution. Nixel extended a data tendril, disguised as a maintenance tool, toward the port. Just one quick scan of the system's architecture. The moment her tendril made contact, the MANIC's display flared to life with unexpected brightness. Nixel jumped back, but it was too late. The device had already begun interfacing with her biological systems, mistaking her attempt to scan it for a patient input. "Welcome to the Maternal Assistance Neural Network Interface Console," a soft voice announced. "Please remain still while we analyze your reproductive compatibility." Nixel's heart raced as she tried to disengage, but the MANIC had already locked onto her biological signatures. Her disguise systems flickered as the device attempted to make sense of her alien physiology. Error. Unexpected genetic markers detected. Initiating deep scan protocol. The situation had spiraled out of control. Nixel had violated at least 3 major protocols for covered observation. If she didn't disengage quickly, she risked exposing not just herself, but the entire Galactic Research Council's presence on Earth. But as she prepared to forcibly disconnect, the MANIC's display showed something remarkable. Instead of crashing or raising an alarm, The system was adapting to her alien biology in real time. The artificial intelligence was actually learning from her unique genetic structure. Novel reproductive system detected. The MANNIC announced, "Would you like to proceed with compatibility analysis?" Nixel stood frozen, her scientific mind racing with the implications. The human device wasn't just functioning. It was offering to help her species' reproduction research. A machine built for human fertility had just demonstrated remarkable adaptability when faced with completely alien biology. The sound of approaching footsteps snapped her back to reality. She quickly retracted her data tendril and sealed the interface port, but not before downloading a copy of the MANNIC's initial analysis. As she slipped out of the office, pushing her cleaning cart with forced casualness, Nixel knew she had stumbled onto something far more significant than a simple fertility device. The humans had created something truly remarkable. Technology that could adapt to and potentially assist with alien reproduction. The implications were staggering, and she had just violated every protocol in the book to discover it. As she exited the clinic, her report to the Galactic Research Council already forming in her mind, Nixel couldn't help but feel a new respect for human ingenuity. These primitive beings had created something that could bridge the biological gap between species without even knowing aliens existed. The real question now was, what would happen when they found out? Cultural misunderstandings. Back aboard the cloaked research vessel hovering above Seattle, Dr. Nixel's quarters hummed with nervous energy as she analyzed the data stolen from the MANNIC device. Her research pod's walls pulsed with bioluminescent displays showing complex genetic sequences and neural patterns that defied conventional xenobiological understanding. "This can't be correct," she muttered, her chromatophores flickering with agitation. The human device hadn't just scanned her biology. It had mapped potential compatibility pathways between human and Lumini genetic structures, something that even the most advanced Galactic Council laboratories had deemed impossible. A soft chime announced the arrival of Research Director Ven. The door dissolved, revealing her superior's towering form. Unlike Nixel, Ven maintained a more traditional Lumini appearance within the ship, a crystalline humanoid shape with swirling patterns of light beneath translucent skin. "I received your preliminary report." Ven's thoughts resonated directly in Nixel's mind. "You realize the severity of your protocol breach." Nixel's skin rippled with embarrassment. "Yes, Director. But the data could compromise our entire observation mission," Ven interrupted. "If the humans discover their technology interface with alien biology." "That's just it." Nixel projected her findings onto the room's displays. The MANNIC didn't just interface. It adapted. "Look at these algorithms." The system actually reconfigured itself to accommodate non-human genetic structures. "It's learning, Director. The humans have created something that could revolutionize cross-species medical research." Ven moved closer to the displays, their crystalline form refracting the data in complex patterns. "Impossible. Their technology is centuries behind ours. They haven't even achieved reliable interplanetary travel. Yet they've developed adaptive medical AI that surpasses our own," Nixel countered. "Their approach is completely different from ours. While we focused on perfecting single-species applications, they built systems capable of learning and adapting to unknown biological patterns. It's brilliant in its simplicity." The director's form flickered with concern. "The Council won't like this. Human technology advancing faster than predicted could destabilize the entire contact timeline." An alert flashed across the displays. The MANNIC was actively processing the data from Nixel's scan. Back on Earth, in the fertility clinic, the device was learning. "Director," Nixel's voice wavered, "we may have a more immediate problem. The system retained my biological data. It's running comparisons against its human patient database." "Warning. Novel genetic signature detected," the MANNIC announced, initiating comprehensive scan. Sarah jumped back as the device began emitting a soft blue pulse. Above her, Nixel's cloaking field fluctuated under the unexpected scan. She had two choices: retreat and risk the MANNIC exposing their presence to humanity, or protocol violation in progress. Her ship's AI warned as Nixil initiated emergency transport. In a shimmer of light that short-circuited every piece of electronics in the clinic, she materialized in Sarah's office. Sarah Chen had seen many things during her years in fertility medicine, but nothing had prepared her for the sight of a crystalline humanoid figure appearing out of thin air. Her coffee cup slipped from nerveless fingers, shattering on the floor. "Please remain calm," Nixil said, her translator converting her thoughts into English. "I can explain the anomalies in your medical device." To her credit, Sarah didn't scream. Instead, she looked between the alien and her computer screen, her scientific mind making connections. "You're the reason my fertility treatments suddenly started working on supposedly incompatible genetic patterns. Your device interfaced with my biology during a routine observation mission," Nixil admitted, her form shifting through various colors as she struggled to maintain composure. The results were unexpected. Sarah slowly sat down, her mind racing. "All this time, we thought we were pushing the boundaries of human fertility treatment, but we were actually learning from alien biology," Nixil finished. "Your MANNIC system displayed remarkable adaptability. It took principles from my species' reproduction methods and applied them to human genetics in ways we never considered. Is that why it started suggesting triple helix DNA combinations last week?" Among other things, Nixil moved closer, her crystalline form casting prismatic patterns across the office walls. "Dr. Chen, your species created something extraordinary here. The MANNIC's adaptive learning capabilities exceed anything in the Galactic Council's medical database." Sarah laughed, a slightly hysterical edge to her voice. "We just wanted to help people have babies. We never imagined." "That's exactly why it works." Nixil's form pulsed with excitement. "You built it to learn, to adapt, to find solutions no matter how impossible they seemed. My people would have dismissed such an approach as inefficient. We prefer controlled, predictable outcomes." "And now?" Sarah asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her shock. "Now I violated every first contact protocol in existence," Nixil admitted. "The Council will probably have my consciousness recycled for this, but they need to understand what humanity has achieved here." The MANIC's display flashed again, drawing both women's attention. "New genetic compatibility pathway identified," it announced cheerfully. "Would you like to proceed with analysis?" Sarah looked at the alien standing in her office, then at the device that had bridged their two species through pure human ingenuity and determination. "You know," she said slowly, "I have about 1,000 questions about alien reproduction methods. And I have approximately 10,000 about human fertility treatments," Nixil responded, her chromatophores displaying patterns of scientific excitement. "The Council is going to terminate this unauthorized interaction immediately." Director Ven's voice resonated in Nixil's mind. But before anyone could act, the MANIC spoke again. "Warning. Critical breakthrough in cross-species fertility treatment identified. Recommended course of action. Continue collaboration between present parties." Sarah and Nixil exchanged looks. The human device had just made the decision for them all. Sometimes, it seemed, the best discoveries came from breaking protocol entirely. Ven's crystalline structure frosted over, the Lumini equivalent of pallor. "Shut it down. Now." "I can't." Nixil's fingers flew over the holographic controls. "The MANIC's AI is self-contained. It's using my scan as a baseline to enhance its fertility treatments for human patients. It's improving their medical technology. This is precisely why we have protocols." Ven's mental voice boomed. "Do you realize what you've done? Human medical science will advance decades in a matter of weeks. The ripple effects could be exactly what we've been waiting for." Nixil interrupted. "Director, look at these results. The MANIC isn't just learning about Lumini biology. It's identifying universal reproductive principles that apply across species. Principles we never considered because we were too focused on our own evolutionary path. The room's displays shifted, showing a cascade of genetic combinations and biological compatibility matrices. The human device had taken Nixel's alien genetic structure and, instead of rejecting it as an error, used it to expand its understanding of reproductive biology as a whole. The humans designed their medical eye to be curious. Nixel continued, her excitement overriding protocol. It doesn't just solve problems. It asks questions we never thought to ask. Why does reproduction require two specific genders? Why can't genetic material be combined in alternative ways? The MANNIC is challenging assumptions that our science has held for millennia. Then absorb the data in silence, their crystalline form shifting through various analytical patterns. Finally, they spoke. The council must be informed. But first, we need to understand exactly what this human device is capable of. Your new assignment, Dr. Nixel, is to monitor the MANNIC's progress. No more direct contact. Observe only. And if it makes a breakthrough, Nixel asked, then we may need to revise our entire approach to first contact. Then admitted, these humans, they've created something remarkable through their very limitations. Their technology isn't just advancing. It's evolving in ways we never imagined. As Ven departed, Nixel turned back to the displays. The MANNIC was still processing, its artificial intelligence working through possibilities that neither humans nor Lumini had considered before. In trying to understand her alien biology, it might just revolutionize reproduction for both species. The question was, were either species ready for what it might discover? In the fertility clinic below, Dr. Sarah Chen arrived for her morning rounds. Unaware that her newest piece of medical equipment had spent the night rewriting everything humanity thought they knew about reproduction. The MANNIC's display glowed with its usual soft blue light, but behind that simple interface, revolutionary changes were taking shape. The future of two species now rested in the hands of a machine designed to help humans make babies. Breaking protocol. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her computer screen, running the test results through the MANNIC system for the third time. Something wasn't adding up. The device had always been efficient, but over the past week, it had begun producing results that seemed impossible. Computer, display patient 247's genetic analysis, she commanded, rubbing her tired eyes. The screen filled with complex molecular structures that made her sit up straight. The MANNIC wasn't just identifying optimal fertility treatments anymore. It was suggesting entirely new approaches to genetic compatibility. These combinations shouldn't be possible, she muttered, reaching for her coffee. The genetic structures on her screen defied everything she'd learned in medical school. Yet the simulations showed them working perfectly, offering solutions to fertility issues that had stumped researchers for decades. Above the clinic, Dr. Nixel monitored Sarah's discovery with mounting concern. The MANNIC's evolution had exceeded even her worst predictions. It wasn't just learning from her alien DNA. It was actively incorporating Lumini reproductive principles into its human fertility treatments. Director Ven, she transmitted urgently. The situation has escalated. The human doctor is noticing the changes. Maintain observation protocol, came the immediate response. Under no circumstances are you to. An alert flashed across Nixel's sensors. The MANNIC was attempting to initiate a new scan sequence, searching for the alien genetic markers it had detected before. If it activated its full scanning capacity, it would detect her presence even through the cloaking field. In the clinic below, Sarah frowned as the MANNIC's display began showing unusual energy readings. That's new, she murmured, reaching for the maintenance panel. As her fingers touched the interface, the device suddenly lit up with unprecedented activity. Bridge of Understanding. 3 days after the impromptu first contact in a Seattle fertility clinic, Sarah Chen found herself in a situation she'd never imagined possible. explaining human reproductive medicine to a panel of alien scientists. The conference room, hastily assembled in an underground government facility, hummed with an odd mixture of human and Lumini technology. "So you're telling us," the crystalline form of council representative Mix pulsed with skepticism, "that your species designed this medical system without any knowledge of xenobiology?" "We designed it to help people," Sarah replied, standing her ground despite the intimidating array of alien beings before her. "The MANIC was programmed to find solutions, not to work within predetermined limitations." Dr. Nixel, now officially assigned as the cultural liaison between humans and the Galactic Council, projected supportive patterns through her chromatophores. She'd spent the last 72 hours arguing for a complete revision of first contact protocols based on humanity's unexpected technological breakthrough. "Display Case Study 7. Sarah commanded, and the MANIC projected a holographic display of its latest achievement. "This is what happened when we allowed the system to apply what it learned from Lumini genetics to human fertility treatments." The assembled aliens leaned forward, their various sensory organs focused on the complex genetic structures floating before them. What they saw challenged centuries of established xenobiological doctrine. "Impossible," one of the council scientists declared. "These genetic combinations violate fundamental principles of reproductive biology." "And yet they work," Nixel interjected, her form shifting to display the relevant data patterns. "We'd verify the results independently. The human device has identified universal principles of genetic compatibility that our own research overlooked precisely because we thought we knew the rules." Director Venn, who had been silently observing from the back of the room, moved forward. "The implications extend far beyond reproduction. If human adaptive technology can bridge the gap between our species at the genetic level, it means every field of xenobiology needs to be reconsidered," Sarah finished. "The MANIC isn't just combining genetic patterns, it's finding fundamental similarities we never knew existed." A ripple of communication passed through the alien delegation. The humans present couldn't hear it, but they could sense the intensity of the exchange from the way the Lumini's crystalline forms flickered and pulsed. Finally, Representative Mix spoke again. "Dr. Chen, our preliminary analysis suggests that your species is at least 3 centuries behind Galactic Council standards in most technological areas. Yet you've created something that surpasses our most advanced medical systems in terms of adaptive capability. How do you explain this discrepancy?" Sarah glanced at the MANIC, then at her notes from the past 3 days of intensive collaboration with Nixel. "I think," she said carefully, "it's because we never assumed we had all the answers. Human medicine has always been about dealing with uncertainty, about finding ways to help people even when we don't fully understand the problem. Necessity breeding innovation," Nixel added, her chromatophores displaying patterns of scientific excitement. "While we focused on perfecting what we knew, humans built systems designed to explore what they didn't know." The MANIC's display shifted, showing a new series of genetic combinations. The device had been running continuous analyses throughout the meeting, learning from the very aliens who were debating its capabilities. "Look at this," Sarah pointed to a particularly complex structure. "The system is already incorporating council genetic data to improve its understanding. It's not just about reproduction anymore. It's mapping the fundamental building blocks of life across species." Director Venn moved to examine the display more closely. "The council will need time to process these developments. This goes against centuries of established protocol regarding technological advancement and species contact." With all due respect, Sarah straightened her lab coat, a gesture of professional pride. "I think your protocols just got obsolete. The MANIC has already proven that our species can work together in ways nobody thought possible. The question isn't whether humans are ready for contact, it's whether the Galactic Council is ready for human innovation." A moment of tense silence followed her words. Then, surprisingly, Representative Mix's crystalline form brightened with what could only be described as laughter. "Dr. Chen, The alien diplomat's translated voice carried a note of amusement. "I believe you've just demonstrated exactly why your species created something so remarkable. You simply refuse to accept limitations." The holographic display shifted again, this time showing a complex web of interconnected genetic patterns from dozens of species. The MANIC was no longer just a fertility treatment device. It had evolved into something that could revolutionize the understanding of life itself. The Council proposes, Mix continued, the establishment of a joint research initiative. Your MANIC technology, combined with our xenobiological database, could advance medical science for all known species. Sarah felt Nixel's supportive presence beside her as she considered the offer. 3 days ago, she'd been helping human couples have babies. Now she was on the verge of helping reshape the galaxy's understanding of life itself. On one condition, she said, earning surprised ripples from the alien delegation. The research stays focused on helping people, all people, human and alien alike. This isn't about advancing technology for its own sake. It's about finding solutions for those who need them. The Lumini delegates exchanged rapid patterns of light, their equivalent of whispered consultation. Finally, Representative Mix's form crystallized into a formal configuration. "The Council accepts your terms, Dr. Chen. Welcome to Galactic Medicine. New Horizons." 1 year later, the Seattle Lumini Joint Medical Research Center gleamed in the morning sun, its architecture a striking blend of human and alien design. Crystal spires merged seamlessly with terrestrial materials, while the building's adaptive surface shifted to maintain optimal environmental conditions for both species working within. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in her new office, watching a holographic display of the latest MANIC results. The device that had once been a simple fertility treatment system now occupied an entire wing of the facility, its capabilities expanded far beyond its original purpose. "The Andromeda cluster results just came in," Dr. Nixel announced, her crystalline form shimmering with excitement as she entered. After a year of working together, Sarah had learned to read her alien colleagues' emotional patterns almost as well as human expressions. "Show me," Sarah said, clearing the current display. The hologram shifted to reveal data from the first joint human-alien medical mission to the Andromeda galaxy. 3 new species have requested access to the enhanced MANIC technology, Nixel reported, her chromatophores displaying patterns of pride. The Council can barely keep up with the demand. Sarah smiled, remembering the skepticism they'd faced just a year ago. How are they handling that? Still struggling with the concept of open-source medical technology. They're adapting. Nixel's form flickered with amusement. Though some Council members still can't comprehend why humans would freely share such valuable innovations. "Because that's how progress works," Sarah replied, pulling up another data set. "Look at these results from the xenogenetic fertility trials. Every species that contributes data improves the system for everyone else. It's exactly how the original MANIC was designed to work, just on a much bigger scale." The display showed a stunning array of successful genetic therapies across dozens of species. What had started as a human fertility treatment had evolved into a revolutionary approach to medical care throughout the galaxy. The MANIC's adaptive learning capabilities, combined with the vast xenobiological database of the Galactic Council, had created something entirely new. "Director Ven is retiring," Nixel announced suddenly, her patterns shifting to more formal configurations. "The Council has asked me to take over as Director of Xenobiological Research." Sarah turned to her friend, beaming. "Nixel, that's wonderful. Though I hope this doesn't mean you're leaving Earth." "Actually," Nixel's form brightened, "I've requested that the position be relocated here." The Council agreed that the center of xenobiological innovation has shifted to Earth. Speaking of which, her patterns shifted to display what Sarah had learned to recognize as nervousness. "We've received an unusual request from the Cetacean Intelligence Council." "The dolphins?" Sarah raised an eyebrow. "I thought they preferred to avoid galactic politics." They've been monitoring our progress, Nixel explained. Apparently, they have their own sophisticated understanding of genetic manipulation through echolocation. They want to contribute their knowledge to the MANNIC database. Sarah laughed. So now we're getting medical insights from Earth species as well as alien ones. The Council must be having fits. The Council, a new voice announced, is learning to expect the unexpected when it comes to Earth. They turned to see Representative Mix entering the office, their crystalline form displaying formal patterns. The success of the MANNIC initiative has forced us to reconsider many of our assumptions about technological progress. Representative. Sarah straightened, but Mix waved off the formality. I'm here unofficially, the alien diplomat said. The Council is preparing to announce a major policy shift. We're recommending that all member species adopt the human model of adaptive medical technology. Nixel's patterns froze in shock. The Council is abandoning traditional xenomedicine protocols. We're evolving them, Mix corrected. Just as your MANNIC device evolved beyond its original purpose, humanity has shown us that true progress comes not from perfecting what we know, but from being open to what we don't know. Sarah moved to the window, looking out at the city where humans and aliens now work together openly. You know, she said thoughtfully, a year ago I was just trying to help couples have babies. I never imagined. None of us did. Nixel moved to join her. That's exactly what makes it so remarkable. Human innovation isn't just about creating new technology. It's about imagining new possibilities. The MANNIC's display shifted again, showing a new analysis combining human, lumini, and cetacean genetic data. The device that had once confused an alien scientist with its primitive design was now teaching the galaxy new ways to understand life itself. The Council has one more announcement, Mix added. We're recommending Earth as the location for the new Galactic Medical Academy. It seems fitting that the species who taught us to think differently about medicine should help train the next generation of xenobiologists. Sarah looked at Nixel, then back at the city beyond the window. Somewhere out there, another couple was probably visiting a fertility clinic, hoping for help starting a family. They might never know that their very human desire to create new life had led to a revolution in how the galaxy understood life itself. So, she said, turning back to her colleagues, who's ready to see what else we can discover? The MANNIC's display pulsed with new data, as if in answer. Above the city, the sun caught the crystal spires of the research center, sending rainbow patterns dancing across the skyline, a perfect blend of human and alien achievement, born from a simple misunderstanding and humanity's endless capacity to imagine new possibilities. In the end, it turned out that the greatest breakthrough in galactic medical history hadn't come from advanced alien technology or centuries of accumulated knowledge. It had come from humanity's simple determination to help people and their refusal to accept that anything was impossible. The future of medicine in the galaxy would never be the same. And it all started because an alien scientist got curious about a fertility clinic's new machine.